Hey guys, I'm celebrating a year on this channel, so I thought it would be a good idea to step back and take a look at YouTube itself. So if you're one of my regular subscribers, bear with me. This is only one video. I'll be back to Tahoe in a minute. One of the things that's always frustrated me as a user is that nobody talks about the bigger picture. Everybody's so obsessed with how do you make your channel bigger, how do you make better videos. Nobody steps back to see the forest for the trees and what YouTube does in a society to its end user. So, being a good YouTuber and seeing a good subject, I decided to make a video. Let me say, my main qualification is not being a popular YouTuber. I'm not. I've got about 64 subscribers. My main qualification is that I'm a long-time viewer. I've had this channel for a year. Before that, I had the channel for the Democratic Party of my county for a couple of years. I've actually been on YouTube so long that I remember when Philip DeFranco was blogging from his mom's basement. And over the years, I've always paid close attention to how YouTube works and how it changes over time. And I gotta say, it's years worth of mixed feelings for me. I'm one of a growing generation of people for whom the internet is my television. I haven't had cable since 2001. I've had YouTube since about 2006. Pretty much all the video I see is either Netflix or YouTube. So I guess I'm a fairly fair sample of what the audience of tomorrow will look like. TV sales went down for the first time in recorded history. Only 96.4% of Americans have televisions anymore. It used to be 98%. And why? People are dropping out of the mass media in favor of YouTube. And I gotta say, I don't miss cable. There is never anything I want to see that isn't on internet television. The internet is now so vast that if you can't find something to watch, it's your fault. I am just constantly amazed as a viewer by the incredible breadth of YouTube. I never knew there were so many people of so many different kinds in the world. You grow up watching the mainstream media and you get this sense that there's a fairly limited supply of people. There's the funny guy, there's the slutty girl, there's a few stereotypes that get perpetuated over and over and over again. And then you get on YouTube and you find out what people are really like, unfiltered. And it is shocking the diversity of people on YouTube. Suddenly there is this window into the true diversity of mankind. The fact that in a smaller society was obvious, that everybody has their own worldview, everybody has their own way of seeing things, suddenly becomes immediately apparent. With YouTube, it doesn't matter where someone is. I have subscriptions from Australia, I have subscriptions from Europe, I watch a lot of English channels. I can see anything and everything that anyone anywhere in the world decided was important enough to make a video about. Well, at least in theory. Finding it is another matter, but I'll get to that later. But it is amazing to me the incredible broadness of YouTube as a medium. What other medium exists where I can click from Leonard Susskind describing the math of string theory to Gorilla 199's conspiracy theories about US currency and the symbolism of corporate logos? What other medium is broad enough to have Alex Jones and the Young Turks and Russia Today and Al Jazeera and any news article from anywhere in the world also? One of the things that YouTube is truly amazing for is news. They said the revolution would not be televised. They were wrong. It's being televised as we speak on YouTube. If you issue everyone in the world a camera, suddenly there is no such thing as an event that goes unreported. And so you have a front row seat to every disaster in the entire world. It's 2011, and we seem to have had a lot of natural disasters this year, but I really don't know if it's any more than any other year, and we just have better news now. Because, as I said, there's no such thing as an event that goes unreported. I can watch as many videos of the Japanese tsunami from every conceivable angle as I could possibly get down my wire and watch. I mean, they went up, at the time, they went up so fast that you literally couldn't watch them all. It is virtually impossible for anything to happen in the world and me not instantaneously know about it. And 80% of the time when something happens in the world, I learn about it through my YouTube subscriptions. And often not through one of the big news subscriptions. Very often the most interesting things I learn about the world, I learn from 300 to 1,000 hit videos that nobody outside of the guy's subscriber list ever even knew could happen. It is amazing the fundamental unpredictability of this medium. It's like the designers of YouTube created this huge Russian lawn and said, go play. We don't care where you go on this lawn, just go play. And all manner of things that no one would ever have thought would be popular turn out to be tremendously popular. I mean, who could have guessed that atheist televangelism would be a popular category with hundreds of people making thousands of videos a year? Who would have thought that there was a tremendous unfulfilled desire for videos of cute puppies? I mean, it's almost cliche. Ooh, a kitty, click. Well, I think the investors are wrong. I think that's what people go to YouTube for. The kitties and the fails and all the other things that the mainstream media is too sophisticated to give us do really, really well on YouTube. I honestly don't know if YouTube having mainstream movies is really going to have any impact or not, because people go to YouTube because they want to see the opinions of random people with webcams. And more importantly, because they want to share their opinion with the world. Now, people do that with varying degrees of success. I gotta say, my channel isn't huge. I never really meant for it to be huge. My channel exists so that I personally have something interesting to do with my time, because otherwise I would be bored. And if I ever get partnered, that would be wonderful, but really, I'm very, very happy just having something to do. I got a really nice HD camera as a present about 2 years ago. And shortly thereafter, I moved back up to my hometown of Lake Tahoe. And I found that the setting around me was so beautiful. It's not the Tahoe of my childhood. I was gone for about 10 years. But it's a whole new world to me. And YouTube lets me be a tourist in my own hometown. And I know it's not unique to Tahoe. I mean, I'm sure wherever you are, there are an endless number of interesting things to photograph. The miracle of YouTube is that each of us can tell the stories wherever we are that we personally find compelling, whether or not it's economic for Google. Sure, the vast majority of YouTube's money comes from the partners. But that said, the vast majority of the videos I watch are from little channels that I personally am in love with. And why do I watch them? Why am I so loyal to them? Because they interact with me personally. Mildly Relevant News. He's not only one of the funniest news channels on YouTube, spoof news channels on YouTube, but that guy always responds. I have never once sent him a PM and not gotten one back. Or Down with the Herman, whose reviews are really not things I would ordinarily be interested in, but he is so personally supportive of his user base. And I just love it when I leave a comment and the person actually takes it seriously and responds to me. What other medium in the world exists where you not only get to talk back to the person on the screen, they talk back to you sometimes too. And what I love about small to mid-sized channels is they're so accessible. If somebody sends me a PM, I almost always PM them back, if it's real. No sub for sub spammers or anything like that. But if somebody leaves a good comment, I'll feature it in my video. And those channels that do that, people like Down with the Herman, Oddball Matt, a lot of others. Whatever your interest is, you can find people of that interest and persuasion on YouTube, no matter how small it is. And that is wonderful. I don't want some huge corporation telling me what I can and can't watch. If I want to watch people do neocube tricks, or people running randomly into doors and cussing, or even crazy men mumbling on the side of the road, YouTube will let me do that. And for one bright shining moment, it doesn't matter. YouTube as a company has this wonderfully liberal policy of letting people post what they want to post and not really messing with it, which very, very few other corporations in America would be willing to do. I saw the video that portrayed their CEO as an evil ice cream man, and I wouldn't have blamed them for taking that down. It was over the line. But that said, I respect them enormously for not taking it down, because that proved to me that YouTube truly does care more about freedom of speech than they do about Google's corporate image. And yeah, their record may not be perfect, but dang, what other company would have allowed that on their own medium that they control? And that's what's special about Google. You look at the Google ads. I saw the Google Lady Gaga Chrome ad, and my friend who was in the room with me couldn't tell that it was an ad for Google. It is so transparent that he thought it was an ad for Lady Gaga. But the compelling thing about YouTube, and Google understands this quite well, you can see it in their commercials, the compelling thing about YouTube is that the interface just disappears and lets you interact pretty directly with the content itself. And not only can you interact with the content, but sometimes the content even interacts back. I've had people make videos that I personally requested. I've made videos that my users have requested. And it provides a mechanism by which people can actually share their interests, no matter how obscure they are. Artificial languages? Type it into Google. You'll find dozens of people speaking in languages that they invented that no one else in the whole world speaks. And I still can't get over the amazing processing and remixing abilities of the YouTube community. Rebecca Black put out Friday, possibly the most annoying song ever written, and within 2 weeks there are 100 versions, all of them better than Rebecca Black's, most of them funnier, some of them musically rocking in a way that I never thought that song could be. Or you click through Bed Intruder and you see the hundreds and hundreds of creative remakes of Bed Intruder. It's amazing. I mean, sometimes I'll just sit there and watch one version of Bed Intruder after another, and everybody does it different. And it's wonderful. There is so much music on YouTube. I never knew there was so much music. You grow up with Top 40 radio, and you think that at any given time there are maybe a few dozen songs in the air. And then you get on YouTube and you find out that there's an entire world of music, and that all the best people are people you've never heard of. A few big people have blown up from YouTube, like Lady Gaga or Rebecca Black or Justin Bieber. But the music I like on YouTube is little bands like the Clatta Band, or best still, the music you make. I'm making a music video. I've been making a music video for months. The video's in the can. I'm waiting on the music. And making music on YouTube is almost more fun because the coolest versions of most songs I've ever heard are always people's covers. And thank you, YouTube, for partnering with RightsFlow to make it legal to cover music on YouTube. Yay! Now we won't have to take all our cover songs down. One of the most popular videos I ever had was a cover song. And music has a nice long life on YouTube, too. A longer chart makes it easier for that. I remember, I also wish, ever since I've been on YouTube, there have been subcategories in music. I don't have access to them. Nobody who's not a partner has access to them. YouTube would run a lot more smoothly if all those subcategories were available to every user. Not everyone would do it, not everyone would bother picking a subcategory. But it would make it such that I could have a chart of the 100 best folk songs without having to rely on YouTube's playlist. Because it becomes your source of ambient everything. YouTube recently revised their estimate of how much video they get from 24 hours a minute to 48 hours a minute. Well, tell me, if you're getting 48 hours a minute of video, why is it that I never see anything good in the charts? I'm going to talk to you guys at YouTube here. Bring back the old 500 item charts. Come on, you have better computers now. It's not that processor intensive. Right now, yesterday I went to the music chart. I was looking for something. There was nothing but Vivo videos. I want to be able to delve as deep into the chart as I care to go. Come on, you guys make some of the most powerful software in the world. You can give me a chart that goes 500 deep, that's sortable the way in any way I want to sort it. This is not hard computer science to do. And I tell you again, the channels I'm interested in are usually not huge channels. So it's not easy for me to find. I've found more videos through my friends on YouTube. Not the people who click the button to be my friends, though I gotta say, having the front page be a feed of your friend activity is a really good idea. I've found more cool channels through my friend's friend activity than I have through any other means except, oh, a kitty, click. I mean, you randomly find stuff on YouTube. It's part of the charm of YouTube, is the utter randomness. You go on the trends blog, and there will be a dozen different trends that day, and you never know what you're going to find. You get, suddenly, we have the capacity to tap the creative potential of all of the little people in society who can't devote their lives to being creative. If you give all those people webcams, some of them are going to come up with brilliant ideas. And the brilliant idea of YouTube is that if you can make it economic to carry all of these videos, some of them are going to blow up and make you huge amounts of money, and everything else, well, that can be on the house as a cost of doing business. But that only works if people can find videos from small people, and more, I can't anymore. That has got to be my chief frustration as a user, is that it's too hard for me to find small channels that are cool. I've learned about a lot of cool channels through shoutouts in people's videos, but a lot of the randomness of the early YouTube is gone. I was looking through doing research for this video, and I've searched YouTube is dying. You know what? People have been making YouTube is dying videos from the start. I saw a video from 2006 lamenting that YouTube will never be the same again. And I saw the same video from 2007 from someone else. I saw another video in 2008 from someone who hadn't even joined when the first video was posted, lamenting that YouTube would never be like it once was. And to this day they still lament that. But the technology evolves. And you have to... Ultimately, the users are the people with the power, and the users are going to find the good content. That's how it has always worked. Things evolve over time, but as much as we keep complaining that YouTube is dying, in fact, it has grown exponentially and continues to do so. They doubled their estimate, as I said, of how much bandwidth they're consuming. And I'll say, over the years I've been on YouTube, the interface has actually gotten better. They throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. And most of it doesn't. They got rid of that annoying playlist bar unless you're on a playlist. Yay! They'll probably do away with that top bar with your favorites next. But thumbs are better than the stars that replace them, if only because they're easier to beg for. By the way, thumbs up this video down below if you think people should beg for thumbs. I have mixed feelings about people who beg users to interact. On the one hand, it's kind of annoying to the end user. On the other hand, it's become so common that I'm completely numb to it anymore. And the simple fact is begging works. If I beg for thumbs, if I ask you to thumbs up this video, a significantly larger percentage of you will thumbs up this video just because I told you to. Even if I just make the gesture. And that's part of why the thumb is superior to the star, is that it has an easy gesture to do. Moving the stuff to the underbar, I wish the underbar was open by default, or that I could have a setting where I could make it open by default, because most of the stuff I want to click on is not in the comments, it's in the underbar. I love comments, I love thumbs, I love to thumb people. I believe that people work really hard on their YouTube videos on average, and if they deserve my thumb, I'm going to give it to them. So, I actually had somebody send me a PM saying they were unfriending me because I was too loud. Unfriend is silent for a reason, bro. Dude. You don't need to wreck your relationship over the fact that somebody's thumb happy. But I'm thumb happy for a reason, because I support the channels I watch. As I said, I'm in love with several of my favorite channels. I'm deeply in love with Reality Bites. I love Outback Zach. Outback Zach is one of the funniest people on the internet. Fluffy. I will thumb a Fluffy video before the commercials even stop playing, because I know it's going to be good. And that's a high compliment. I wish more of my users were like that. I have a hardcore of about a dozen hardcore users who always thumbs up my video. And if I had a hardcore of about 200 of them, I could be in the charts in travel and events. That's why the charts need to be longer. People need to find my channel. People need to find all the small channels. And the only way you can get them to find the small channels is to get people to know about them. So, thanks for listening to me ramble, guys. I'll be back to Lake Tahoe a little later this week with the final concert dates for the Harvey Summer Concert Series, and many more Tahoe events. With any luck, I'll have some good weather for the Renaissance Fair, and you guys will get to see some more of the world, my corner of the world. I look forward to hearing from anyone who found my channel through this. PM me. I always respond. I accept pretty much all friend requests. I accept video responses. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. Thank you. Keep Tahoe blue. Bye.